Hello everyone, welcome to the first video on the YouTube channel. Finally got there. It's been a little while. I have had things on and I have been planning on doing one, but finally got round to it. I didn't actually record the intro on the first day when we were there, so I ended up just adding one in. I feel like the video was just missing something. So what comes after this point is everything that happened on the day leading up to the trip and after. So hopefully you enjoy it. In this video I'll be climbing Mount Gawara. I apologise for the pronunciation on that one. But that is Tenerife's third highest mountain, which is pretty sick. And hopefully you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, please be sure to leave a follow and a subscribe. If you want, comment, but just be mindful it's my first vid and I'm hoping to do plenty more. So if you do like it, please go to the channel. Keep exploring, keep doing what you're doing. Let's get into the vid. My flight was set at 7:30 AM, so it was a nice early start. It was time to make sure I grabbed all my stuff, got all the bags ready, set the Garmin, and was time to catch that plane. Once I touched down in Tenerife South Airport, I was met with my friend and their family. We then collected our hire car and went straight to the Airbnb, which as you can see was pretty unreal. We dumped our bags in the room, but first things first, we got straight into that pool. As soon as I got there, it literally called me in. For a good 40 minutes pretending I was Phelps, we then went for a little walk around the surrounding areas to try and get familiar with our surroundings. We was also determined to beat our mate's mum in our Garmin walking challenge, which we all took very seriously. On day 2, we visited Masca, a small mountain village on the northwest side of the island, which I've got to tell you, it's got to go on your itinerary if you ever visit Tenerife. This place was unreal. When me and my mate usually say that we're going to go on a little walk, it usually involves climbing a mountain, scaling a knife edge, and doing at least 5 miles. However, we were fully aware of what we were doing tomorrow, so we didn't push it too hard and we just went on a little walk. Well, a little walk in our case. For the rest of the evening, we just stayed around the Airbnb and went on little walks around our surrounding areas. After we spent a good amount of time appreciating the waves, it was time to go back, check our gear, eat some food and get some good sleep ready for the climb. You'll have to excuse the not so enthusiastic look on my face. You have to understand it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I haven't quite defrosted yet. So it was time to get dressed. This was a North Face t-shirt. It's lightweight and breathable. I'm wearing the Regatta zip-off trousers. This allows me to turn them into shorts when I need to. And finally, anyone who knows me, it's a Mountain Equipment zip-up fleece. This is great and by far my favourite brand. Then it was coffee time. So the Airbnb we stayed in was about 1 hour and 5 minutes from the start of our walk. So we were estimating that it was going to take us roughly 2 to 3 hours for the ascent, and then around 2 to 3 for the descent, maybe quicker depending on how we're feeling at the time. Once final checks were done, coffee was drank, it was time to get out there and climb my biggest mountain so far. So don't just stand there, come with me. Once we got there, we started the Garmins and set off on our walk. I would recommend reading these signs. It always helps to know the local rules in different countries and areas you're climbing in.
Here we set out to find the extraordinary dodo bird.
The extinct dodo.
There has been very little sightings in the past 100 years. However, we have come to Mars on an expedition like no other. Bring it straight to your televisions. It is I, David and Amelia.
We were about 40 minutes into our hike and we was following the S31 route up Mount Gawara. The route we have selected was a difficult route, so that's why we put time and preparation into it, brought the right gear, trained for it, and planned exactly which way we were going to go. At the start of the hike, the terrain was very loose rock and very dry, so we had to be careful when choosing our step. Then, about a quarter of the way up, it began snowy and icy, but the ice was very compact and obviously hadn't been there for a little while, so it wasn't too bad. This is why we planned for this and anticipated this, so we brought crampons when we needed to switch. Crampons on and feeling a lot better on our ascent, we was about halfway up and were slowly starting to get a glimpse of the sunrise, which made it all worth it. One thing I always get is, I don't know how you do it. And honestly, I hate getting up at 4 AM in the morning, but to see sunrises that people don't get to see, and to see views people can't be bothered to see, it makes it all worth it. Honestly, the cameras don't do justice to how good this view was. And as you can see there, we was just starting to get a glimpse of Mount Teide, Spain's highest mountain. Sitting at 3,718 meters, it is the highest point in Spain and the third highest volcano in the world. So we are currently 2,500-ish meters above sea level. Definitely feeling it a little bit on the oxygen, but unreal. This is why we do it. This is why we do it. Everyone else is asleep, not doing much right now. We're currently 2,500 meters in the air and climbing. I do apologise for the constant crunching sound and the wind. It was extremely windy up here, and with the ice it was making it sound like a crisp packet constantly. Nevertheless, the view was breathtaking and honestly worth getting up at 4 AM for this. One thing we said when we was up there was it was quite funny to think that we're currently wearing winter gear at the top of the mountain, knowing that below everyone's in shorts and t-shirt and in sunbathing gear. This is why I can't stress enough how important it is to wear the correct gear and equipment when doing these tasks. If I hadn't prepared correctly, I would be really cold at this point because we were almost summited Mount Gawara. After a lot of walking and climbing, we've finally got there and the views were just unreal. It was time to put the bags down and to have a little walk around and take it all in. We had completed the ascent and we was officially 2,700 meters in the air above sea level. Wow, I think it's drawn time. Then it was time for cold pasta at 8 AM in the morning. This is very important, even though it may not have tasted the best, and I would have much preferred it to be warmer. However, this is very important after doing such a hard ascent and burning so many calories. These ruins were from the first high mountain astronomical observatory established in 1856. It was pretty cool knowing we stood there in a big part of history. Then, once we were fed, it was time to release our inner child and start messing about like we usually do.
First stop. East. Oh, no.
Experienced hikers or mountain climbers or anyone that's peaked any summit, especially before sunrise when there's no one else around, will understand a feeling like no other. The feeling that there's no one around and that you can do whatever you want, and it is, in my opinion, true and pure happiness. And as seen here, we was having a time of our lives dancing above the clouds to Bob Marley. Once we'd finished fooling around and dancing, it was time to take it seriously and prepare for the descent. On the way back down, it got drastically warmer, so it was obviously time to take off the bigger puffer jacket. This was essential for the top as it was very cold and the wind chill was extremely high, so this helped perfectly. However, now we are on the descent and we are moving again, I'm a lot warmer and my temperature is a lot higher, which means I would take the jacket off and put it back in the pack. I will be posting another video going into more depth about everything that I carry and why I carry it. Also, which brands I decide to go for and which ones I prefer to wear. As you can see here, it's also very important to get your layering system down to a T. Crampons were off and it was ready for the descent to continue. Another crucial thing when hiking or mountain climbing is to have a good and trusted navigation system. We tend to use AllTrails and definitely would recommend it if you're not already using it. We make sure to download our route the night before so we have it when we don't need data. We also use Garmin's two-way communicator and GPS. This allows us to communicate via satellite to anybody we need to in case of an emergency or if we was to have a fall. That is one thing that I would 100% recommend to anybody starting hiking or mountain climbing, just in case things was to go wrong. It's a major part of your pack. At this point we were over 3/4 of the way back to the car. In my opinion, this is the time when you're most likely to hurt yourself or to make silly mistakes because your body and legs are extremely tired and you feel like you're kind of dragging them along. This is why I make sure I've got plenty of water, stay hydrated, and have lots of snacks to give me short bursts of energy along the walk. One thing that could help you if your legs are feeling tired at this point in the walk is walking poles. Unfortunately I left mine in England, I did not mean to do that, so that was great to find out when I reached Tenerife. However, usually I would have them with me at all times. This helps support your walking, your legs, and it definitely helps when you're getting a bit tired. I find using walking poles helps me a lot with my knees. I have quite sore knees, so this does help a lot, and at this point in the walk I was really missing them. Then after about 5 hours hiking, we could finally see the visitor centre. This was actually the first time seeing the visitor centre, as in the morning when we got there it was that dark we couldn't see a single thing.
Complete.
And just like that, our mission was complete. A successful and safe climb, back down at the car, and ready for the rest of the day. After a long hike, and for my feet being squeezed for 5 hours, there's no better feeling than taking off the boots and slipping into the Crocs. Anybody who knows me knows that the Crocs always come with me on my hikes and travels. Overall, we had great weather conditions, and the hike went extremely well. We couldn't have been happier with the results. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed my first video. There'll be plenty more to come where that came from. Please like and subscribe.